As many of us focus on Crimea, one thing that we should bear in mind is that there has been very, very little violence, very little bloodshed. And clearly, a majority of Crimeans want to be a part of Russia. If you look at some of the other secessionist movements in the last 10, 20, 30, 40 years, this one has been pretty peaceful. I mean, consider South Sudan. After years, decades of fighting, I think it was July of 2011, they put it to a vote in South Sudan. Should it become a free country? The United Nations recognized the country, and after unthinkable, horrific bloodshed with northern Muslims attacking southern Christians and then reprisal attacks from the Christians, Sudan was split in half, and the Christian majority of the South, after long bloody battles, had a vote and prevailed. All right. So what happened in Crimea was pretty tame. But I want to go a step further, just to give pause and to give light to the hypocrisy of our own country. Did you know that there was a nation called the Republic of West Florida? In 1810, if my memory is correct, there were a group of people that fought. They were mostly English and Scottish, and they fought against Spain to get a part of what is Baton Rouge, Red Stick, all right, and some tracts of land that were not a part of the Louisiana Purchase. They prevailed. They got a constitution. And President Madison said, I don't think so. We want that land. We want it to be a part of America. And there were people in the Republic of West Florida that ultimately did want to become a part of the United States, but they wanted to do it with the rule of law, not the barrel of a gun. But Madison sent in the American army and just literally took it. Think about President Andrew Jackson. One of the most horrific crimes ever committed in the United States of America is now known historically as the Trail of Tears. The Cherokee Nation existed, okay? And in Worcester versus Georgia, the Supreme Court ruled that, yes, there is a Cherokee Nation. They do have sovereignty. They have a treaty. We're going to honor it. And Jackson said they made their ruling. Now let them enforce it. And for gold and for land, we drove 17,000, more or less, men, women, and children from their homes. 4,000 of them died along the way. And then finally, Hawaii. There was a secessionist movement. There was a group of people in Hawaii who wanted to be a part of the United States, but most of them didn't. And they had this huge petition that they signed in the mid-1890s, and it killed the effort to just take Hawaii in. But then when the Spanish-American War broke out, and we were fighting in the Philippines and in Cuba, President McKinley just said, we're taking it. And they literally just took Hawaii because we needed a naval base. Does it sound like Crimea to you? The Russians need a naval base? They've got a naval base? We took Hawaii. There are still Hawaiians to this day who assert that Hawaii is a free people, and they're working for independence. So before we wring our hands and cry foul in Crimea, we should maybe look at the blood that's on our own hands, the Trail of Tears, the theft of Hawaii. This is the voice of resistance.